Yo, welcome in everybody. How are you all doing today? Hope all of you are having a fantastic day today. And for today, I have also bringing you a fantastic guest. His name is Mr. Gregarious Gamer. How are you doing today, Greg?
Doing quite well, thank you for having me.
Welcome in. So, Greg, who are you?
Who am I?
Yes,
well,
who are you? And maybe before you say who you are, where are you?
Well, that's multiple questions, but I'll make this simple. I am here in the Gregarious galaxy. It may look like completely vast empty space, and I can guarantee you it definitely is.
It is.
But there are certain little creatures around here that keep me company, like this little special Luma that kind of looks transparent.
It's yeah.
I assure you, he is 100% fully 3D and completely unlockable.
Is he hiding or something? Is there prey coming out right now, like kind of like chameleon style, or?
Nope, he is just he can be a little camera shy, which is why he's a little.
Okay, it's a little.
There you go.
Yeah, it's the nerves a little bit, yeah.
While those Lumas are very lovable, they're also very shy at times. They can't speak English, so they have to have a little translator.
That will do it as well, exactly. Yeah, because I'm actually very familiar with the Lumas, especially every single day you go live. I always chill with the Lumas there on your channel, a little lurk with the Lumas every single day.
Yep.
So
lurking with the Lumas is a
yeah.
It's slowly becoming a common phrase amongst the people that are aware of my channel, and it's an honor that a simple phrase like that can become rather iconic.
Yes, exactly. Like become like a bigger thing. I did. So you go ahead, tell my viewers, your viewers if they're here, who you exactly are and what's going on in your channel here a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly enable the channel points reward so that my viewers over here can spend 100 channel points. Don't worry, they will be refunded at the end of the stream as well, so don't worry about if you're a hoarder about losing some channel points. You will get them back. I'm gonna quickly enable that so you guys can ask him some questions as well, and I'm gonna let you have the word for a bit here.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll keep it short because I tend to ramble on a whole bunch, and I try and keep my presence on this platform as modest and humble as possible. But when people ask me where I'd get started, I guess one could say that I started like any other streamer would, just on my own path. There was a time not too long ago that I was in the community of people that thought that Twitch was just, oh, you watch other people play games, why not just play the games yourself? But one big thing changed that for me in the early months of 2020. I don't really like bringing up this topic because we all are already, sick of hearing about it, and it's a very serious thing going on, like in real life. But, when the lockdown happened in my country, I know it probably happened for your country as well.
Yes, it happened here as well. A little later, I think, than in America.
Yeah, it happened a little later, but in early March was when the lockdown officially was enacted, and I found myself going on different websites, because I wasn't able to attend school or attend work. I was forced to find other ways of communicating, and Twitch seemed like that website dedicated for gamers that also wanted to connect with other gamers. And it just so happens that a special game that was even nominated as Game of the Year last year happened to come out within the first week of the pandemic or the lockdown. Yes. Animal Crossing. And let's just say that Animal Crossing kept me and I'm sure millions of other people entertained or preoccupied during an era that we were literally forced to stay indoors and stay 6 feet apart from people.
I still remember Animal Crossing when I picked it up. Me and my friend, we were really invested in it, and we had this online site where you can like type in your sales, how much you bought it for, and etc. etc. And then it would kind of like calculate how like what the best day of the week would be to sell your turnips.
Oh, that's the thing.
And
like,
I
noticed the
remember,
turnips.
yeah, I remember us being super into it, and then the game actually causing for my first depression because I spent my 2 million that I had all in turnips, and then I stopped playing the game for a week. And then I came back to the game, and I came back to some cockroaches, and then I was like, you know what? I don't think this game is for me anymore.
Yeah, I definitely experienced that myself. Even though one of my emotes on the channel is the villager in a in a space hoodie, etc. Animal Crossing has always been a game series that, like, whenever I got a copy of it, I would play it like every single day. I would pour an hour into it each day because it was I felt it was designed to be like kind of checking in, kind of like a chore, but a happy type of chore. You grab butterflies, you build things, and you pay off your debts. It's rather realistic in its story, right?
Yeah, and it also doesn't take that much time, right? You can just play it for an hour a day. It's like really relaxing, really calming.
Some people have gone so far as to do time skipping just to progress further, and
I didn't do that.
Me neither.
I've been against the idea.
I don't have the patience and persistence to do something like that. I instead use time in my favor.
Yeah, I was just against the idea because my friend eventually started time skipping or time traveling, as they call it. And
traveling.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh yeah, I've got all of this and all of this and all that. And I was like, wait, how? I barely made that much money. It's like, oh, I'm using like time things. It's really easy. I'll show you how to do it. It's like, no, I'm against that idea. I'll do it the slow, peaceful way,
Yeah, I feel like time skipping would just like it
ruins the point of the game a little bit, in my opinion. Because I get it, you really like the game, but the point of the game is it gives you that natural feeling of slow, progressive rewarding, and seasons coming in while the seasons are also IRL active. And
I'm getting some memories of when it was just starting out, like the first month in. I was busting my tail trying to get iron nuggets. If any of you watching have ever played Animal Crossing New Horizons, you will know, like, in the first, like, few days of playing, like, what mission I'm talking about. Having to build the Nook store so that Timmy and Tommy Nook can move in and, like, finally start expanding to the rest. Like, seriously, there was that one point in which, like, because it also happened to be Easter season, or like egg season.
Oh, I love that. I love that. The events that came from.
I loved and hated it. Like
I like the items.
Was trying to dig up to find fossils. It was the it was the earth eggs and it was the sky eggs. Like just like the eggs became too abundant. But
I did like the items though. I really loved the items, so I did not mind the eggs. The items were so great.
I still have some Bunny Day items in my inventory somewhere. I'll probably sell them at some point if they're even worth anything. But not just Animal Crossing, but also there was a few games that over the course of like summer from like April 2020 to May 2020 all the way up to roughly August or so, there were a couple of games that I either were brand new and I played them on day one, or they were games that I were stuck on my backlog, and I finally decided to revisit them. One of them.
I'm smelling a very good transition here, and I think you know exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Oh my goodness!
Another game that just came out actually that I picked up today actually right before the stream started, and both of us really want to play. And that came out yesterday.
You're obviously talking. Okay, we'll get to that in time. Like I thought you said we were gonna bring that up later, but but
the transition was there. Man, I really want to play it. Metroid Dread seems such a good game, and I really want to play it.
Metroid Dread is an example of like patience really does pay off. Like the die-hard true 2D Metroid fans that have been playing the series since Super Metroid and even Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I have no problem admitting I was wrong or inaccurate.
Actually, don't know 100% what consoles they were on released, because I've never been into Metroid that much, but I've been very excited for the new Prime. But then this game came out and I was like, ooh, this will be my first Metroid game that I'm gonna play, because I fucking love Samus and Smash
it's
as well.
interesting
So.
because, when this game was originally announced at E3 2021 earlier this year, a lot of people immediately thought, "Oh, great! This is what we got instead of Metroid Prime 4. This is what we get." I will admit that was an original reaction that I heard from a few streamers in the community. But then, upon further glance and actually checking it out and seeing it more after the E3 presentation, like, wait a minute, this actually looks pretty good. And then, like, the more that they showed the more they showed during the subsequent directs were quite fascinating, to say the least. I myself never completed a Metroid game personally.
I've never even played one up until this point yet.
I have played a bit of the original Metroid on the NES. I have played the Super Metroid on Super Nintendo, both on the Super Nintendo Classic and on the Wii U eShop. And then I actually got a chance to play it again on the Nintendo Switch Online. So there are avenues and accessible platforms today that you can play it on. So while we appreciate that, the original game came out on Super Nintendo, and it's one of the greatest 2D games ever made, it's nice to see the accessibility alive and well. And I guess that would be a great transition towards, oh my goodness, talk about N64, but we'll get to that in due time.
yeah, for sure.
I'm one to follow a little bit of a list, and
yes, you go on. Sorry.
I will admit that one of these right here is a little retired in terms of topics, but I will still acknowledge it. You asked me about the origins of my name, as well as this gregarious streamer.
Yes. So your name has gone through a couple of changes throughout the time that I've known you. Now, all for the better, and there's one final change you do want to do. But what does gregarious mean? Is there a meaning behind it?
So, the true meaning behind the name. Now, it's a little convoluted and strange, but I'll try and keep it concise for, viewership's sake. So, what people may not know about me is that I'm a filmmaker. I actually have produced films in real life outside of Twitch, and I even have some old stuff on YouTube that is still there on my channel. No, shameless plug. But there was one movie and book that really stood out to me, because when I was still in filmmaking school, college I should say, there was a program called virtual reality, and I may or may not have a actual VR headset with me out here in space right now.
I don't have mine that I can show, but it's somewhere there next to the TV.
I believe it. It's shown me. It's actually I have the same one, dude. Like we both should have just worn our headsets the whole time.
Yes.
Which actually brings me to the original name of my channel, which was The Gregarious Gamer. Now, this name actually came to me when I was thinking, like, okay, I like alliteration. I've always found alliteration to be something that entices or compels people to, like, click on a name, or click on a word, or click on a phrase. There's affiliate anniversary. There's perfect poro type of deal. Those are just examples. But I was always a fan of alliteration in grammar and vocabulary in the English language, and I'm thinking, okay, I took my original real life name and tried to find some word that would be able to connect my real name to gamer. In the past, I have done Gaming Greg, and it worked, but it wasn't fully there. And eventually I'm like, okay, wait a minute. The movie, Ready Player One, helped point me in a direction that I was very proud of. That, wait a minute, the book and the movie, the company is called Gregarious Games.
Yes.
Let's look at what the term gregarious means, because if I'm gonna borrow a specific reference like that, I want to make sure it's accurate and not for the sake of stealing the publicity of a big gigantic movie. And if you actually do, in fact, look up the term gregarious, with just, one G at the start, not two G's at the start. But gregarious literally means sociable or fond of company. And that actually, that encapsulates who I am as a person, even outside of Twitch.
That definitely describes you, yeah. As somebody that has talked to you a lot already, that is literally you.
Yeah, seriously, and not to mention, I much prefer local multiplayer over online multiplayer any day of the week, and that's not even counting Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I prefer chatting with someone in person and playing a game right beside them. That right there is what got me into gaming permanently. My first game. Sorry, go ahead.
Isn't that also something you've done? But a while back on your streams, I remember you sometimes having a friend of yours next to you to play
very
actual
rarely,
games.
But yeah. And very rarely, but yes.
Yes, I remember that. I remember those moments actually.
In fact, I think it was before I even got to know you and your channel and your community. This was a week or so beforehand, but
I think a little bit after, because I remember going to your channel and seeing that person there. So I think it was around the same time. But it has definitely been a very, very long time ago.
It was definitely in November of last year, so it's definitely coming up on a year now. Holy snap.
It's been a damn while. It has been a damn while. And because you met me there, I think I've remembered this very correctly, that I'm now number 14 of
and
your
here it comes. I was wondering what's going to happen.
Gregarious streamers list.
That list is now dated, archived, and it's being reformed. It's being reformed.
A reformation here.
And in short, I was waiting for it to officially come up during this interview, but the original 3, as you may see right here, the original 3 are permanent.
Yes.
These are immortalized because these are the people. We have AJ Bake, who you interviewed last week.
It was last week's guest. Absolutely amazing streamer. And human being as well.
AJ, if you're listening to this, or if you're ever watching this episode of the show, you were a major contributor to making all of this happen. Yes. And in short, the other two I eventually found in late
Dry
September.
Guy and Yamilton J.
Yeah. But not in that order. It was AJ first, and then Yamilton J, and then I met Dry Guy.
Yep.
And it took me a while to figure out that Dry Guy and Yamilton actually knew each other for a long time prior to me finding either one of them. And that ultimately led me to more communities. And the reason why I say the list is archived and dated, etc., is because, quite frankly, of all those streamers that I had listed, on that list that I don't even show on screen anymore, it's because of all of those streamers, everyone has their own lives. Everyone has their own communities and streamer and stream schedules, etc. That it originally was formed as okay, these people they automatically connected with me. They want to play games with me. It's okay, I'll add that to my list. And they shout me out because I'm streaming now. They're shouting me out. It's okay, I'll put them on the list too. So whenever I do stream, and if they happen to come along, but that's the killer. That's the thing though, is that given my stream schedule and given other people's stream schedules, it's very rare to actually have people come back to your stream, even though you visit their stream as much as they can. It doesn't feel balanced, but that's nobody's fault. That's just circumstantial.
Yeah, exactly. And also times in life they could be doing a lot more on the side.
Big time.
It's been a while since I've actively been in someone's stream because I've been so busy with YouTube editing and everything. I do always try to lurk whenever I can. But it's that's all that I can do, sadly enough, because I wish that I could spend 30 minutes or to an hour in someone's stream and just have a conversation with them.
It feels interesting how there are some streamers out there who are in a certain times, you're in a time zone that's ahead of East Coast time in the United States, where, pardon me, a lot of streamers I have gotten to know over the last year, a majority of them are on the East Coast or Central Standard Time Zone, while me, even though I'm out here in space, I ride and die on the west coast of the United States time zone, PST, so I'm always 3 hours behind. So whenever I'm trying to catch a stream of like AJ or Hamilton J or Derry, etc., I have to account for, wait, they are 2 hours ahead of me, 2 to 3 hours ahead of me. So whenever they say like, oh, you're starting up at like 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, that's 7:30 for me. Okay, perfect. And as a result of people being ahead of me, it's extremely hard for me to actually time my own streams up so that they have the opportunity to visit me and check out my streams to return the favor, so to speak. And I noticed that by streaming at certain times, I have some streamers that are able to come in and say hello and support the show, and other times, like, you rarely ever see them. But that's because I think a lot of streamers tend to lurk more than they actually, like, interact with chat, because they're busy doing a lot of other stuff at once. It's just like lurking,
just like me, basically.
Lurking with the Lumas. That's literally what I do with like 9 different streamers a day. Like, even if I don't chat, like, I'm still watching. I'm still watching your stream.
And there are exactly like people, for example, Reactor Prox in chat right now. If he comes in, he always chats like he's doing right now. But then again, he also has a lot more time on his hands than, for example, me. Even though he is very busy with work now. I must say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's putting streaming like a little bit more on the side because he is so busy with work, which I do admire.
But hey, as I have always said, IRL always. Okay, that was bad. That was bad. Please ignore that. Please ignore the mirrored image there. I did not have time to.
It's actually not mirrored. It's not mirrored for us. It's not mirrored. It's only for only for the Discord. It's mirrored.
Well, in that case, let me go ahead and fix this up, actually, because I think that some of you may have subconsciously thought, wait, why does, there we go. I think it's now fixed. I should have asked you that beforehand.
That's fine, it's totally fine.
If this right here...
Now it's normal,
I want to make something clear to all you right now.
The Joy-Con voice.
This is just coincidental. I have never... I will admit right now, we all know who started this whole movement right here. Rest in power. However, I would be lying if I said that I watched like his streams and his reaction videos like every single time. I did not know who Etika was until the Nintendo Switch line weighing in line done by, I'm not sure if you even know who this is, Captain Nintendo Dude from YouTube. Does that name ring a bell at all?
No,
like,
absolutely not. I wouldn't even know what they did, like if they played games or anything, or
I'll keep this info brief because it is actually really sad news. But a few years ago, Etika had joined Captain Nintendo Dude at New York for the release of the original Nintendo Switch, like the original, like March 3rd, 2017. He waited in line for an entire month, and Etika was one of those famous YouTubers that somehow met up with Captain Nintendo, and that was my first ever introduction to who Etika was. And again, this was in 2017. I wasn't watching Twitch at the time at all, so I didn't even know if he was like a big name in Twitch or something. But apparently, like, this guy was huge.
Yes. Like, he was amazing. Like, he was a legend. He still is a legend in the scenes. And he probably will be for as long as ages continue.
For all you youngsters out there who don't know who I'm talking about, just get prepared for this comparison here. I would say that Etika is the... this will be taken with a grain of salt by some people, but just it's all good news, all right? I'm trying to make something light out of a really
go for it.
Here. Etika, I would say, is the Buddy Holly of streaming.
I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea who that is.
Okay,
no idea who that is.
Let me try something easier. Do you know who Paul Walker was, or do you know who he was? He's basically the Paul Walker of streaming. Terrible example, but I'm trying to use a celebrity who died too soon, like died way too soon, and yeah, I don't even want to bring up how Etika passed. It was very sad, very heartbreaking. Mental health is a serious business. Take care of yourselves, everyone. But back to writer news. My channel name started out as The Gregarious Gamer, but I was never a fan of the in front of it. And even though that the whole catchphrase GG from the GG derived from my name being called The Gregarious Gamer,
Yes.
Part of me wants to shorten it to the GG, but THEGG was already taken on Twitch, and Feg. It's like I don't want to be called Feg by accident.
Yeah, that as
So,
well. Like people will call you that in chats and everything as well. So it's a little bit a name. What I think with a name, right? If you're gonna make a username, you're gonna have to make something that you want to be called that has some sort of backstory to you, or that has something to do with something that you like. Like for example, my name literally has the weakest backstory ever, but I always find it funny, and I really love it because I don't know if you've ever played League of Legends.
Sadly, no. The only
Yeah,
MOBA game I've ever played is Pokemon Unite, and that's only with friends. And I'm thankful I didn't fall down that rabbit hole. I was this close.
So basically, right, in League of Legends, you've got a special game mode, which is called ARAM. ARAM stands for All Random, All Mid. You get a random champion, and there's only one lane to go to. And it's a snow map, and they have these little creatures called Poros, P-O-R-O. I used to play, I still do sometimes, play a lot of ARAM because it's a for fun game. It's no sweats, no annoying teammates, it's just for fun, right? Brain AFK, you just play the game, that's it. And I used to love these creatures, so I just named, you can feed them as well in the game because you don't have warts, you have like a little biscuit. And I just said...
I know another character that can be fed and it's entirely optional in the game.
Exactly, and I always fed them, so I named myself Feed the Poros, because I got frustrated that people didn't feed the Poros. And then I named myself to iamporro, based off of a streamer that I very rarely watched, called iamgosu. He's like a League streamer. And I was like...
I didn't know.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, that's a good name to do, and I'll just keep the Poro part, right? But iamporro was already taken. So, what can I do? I'll just double up on the R. iamporro. I guess that works. Yeah, okay, it works. That's my name now.
I hate to say it, but I cannot roll my R's even if there was a gun at my like my tongue said porro. I can't do it. Porro. Anyone who can roll their R's.
I guess
totally
it's heritage, right?
non-condescending laugh, but keep that up, buddy.
It's a little bit heritage.
A rolling R game.
Right?
Greg. See, I can't do it. Gregarious.
The Gregarious gamer.
oh man, I'm not sure how to react to that because I can't repeat it. It sucks. It's unfortunate that I can't roll my R's, but maybe one day I'll be able to do it.
I do want to quickly change the topics here because there's one thing that you have not told us yet. What's your favorite game to stream? What's your game? You know what? Favorite game to play and favorite game to stream. Most of the time when people talk about themselves, they instantly say like, I love this. You did not say the favorite game. I'm sorry.
What else?
I can't see anything. Is that still Galaxy? I only see a Galaxy.
Yeah. It is Super Mario Galaxy.
Mario Galaxy.
This game is very special to me, and it's not just the whole like, oh, it's Mario in space. Like, obviously I'm a Mario fan, and obviously I'm in space.
Yes.
But even before this game came out, I was always interested in space travel, and like some of my favorite movies of all time involve space travel. It's like whether it's fictional or completely fantastical, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And when it was announced that the sequel to Super Mario Sunshine, they coined it a sequel, but it was really just like the next installment in the overall
it's just like
series.
a new 3D Mario game.
I remember when I was like 12 years old or so, and I saw E3 2007, and it showed Mario being in space. I'm like, oh my goodness, Mario in space? I've seen Mario in the Mushroom Kingdom. I've seen Mario like on a tropical island resort, but
yeah, and now we're a little used to it as well, right? Because Odyssey is technically also kind of in space. Yeah, of course,
and
Mario.
It was so good, and it was so good a sequel, of course. But
the sequel as well. But Mario Odyssey is technically also a little in space with different planets and everything. So
the build up to Galaxy in 2006, 2007, like all throughout the Nintendo Power magazines, like I live in the United States, so I was very fortunate enough to have I was lucky enough to have a subscription to Nintendo Power as the magazines were being released. And at one point, in 2007. They were like the most anticipated games for holiday 2007. And all, like, on multiple different pages, it kept on saying, you're gonna want to get Galaxy 1. It is a beautiful game. The music's amazing. Like, it was just Nintendo Power's staff hyped up Galaxy more than any other individual Mario game that existed prior to that. And given people's original perception of Super Mario Sunshine being, like, very hard on the GameCube, Galaxy was literally quoted as, like, the return to form of, like, this is the true sequel to Super Mario 64, which, you know, I, of course, have right here. It's the very first game I ever played. So, when the first game I ever played, personally, and my favorite game of all time at the time was getting a direct sequel as coined by Nintendo Power, I was very hyped up, and I went to the game store, like, the day after E3 had shown the trailers. And in short, they were offering an incentive for people to reserve a copy of Super Mario Galaxy in exchange for this very special commemorative coin that I still have to this day. Ooh. This coin right here, is over 13 years old, soon to be 14. I think my camera hasn't focused right there.
Oh, damn.
Like,
that's sick.
This I'll probably pass on to my children when I eventually have them. Like,
nah, bro. Keep them. Keep it. Keep it. Keep the coin. Keep the coin.
Oh
the kids ain't gonna appreciate it that much, man. Keep the coin.
But another big reason why Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite game is because it was the odds of this happening were 1 in 364. You know, 365 days in a year. Do some math. But the game released on my birthday. My birthday is November 12th, and it's.
We actually have something in common then.
Yeah, your favorite game came out on your birthday too? How many people have the...
So, my favorite game of all time is Borderlands 2. And a couple years back, on my birthday, they released Borderlands 2 VR. Out of nowhere.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my god,
wow.
What? So I was like, I'm getting this game. I am playing this, and it was so much fun to play it in VR as well. Because it was completely different.
There's some games that I feel work super well in VR, while others have the VR as an additional gimmick, but it's not.
Yeah. Would you, if there would ever be a Mario VR game, how would you think it would feel? You think it's gonna be like one of those chunky games, or you think they're gonna be able to like really
I see your. I'm actually. I will admit I'm having a little bit of a cheat code and like watching your. I'm lurking to your stream as well right here, and I see a quick one. Cat Wires saying, "Yo, Mario Galaxy VR."
We're gonna answer those at the end of the stream as well. So
we will. But yeah, Mario Galaxy in VR. It's like, honestly, Nintendo, where's Galaxy 3?
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think Galaxy 3.
If it was gonna, if Galaxy 3 was ever going to happen,
I think it might be in VR then.
It would have been on the Wii U. It would have been released 2013 to combine 2007 for Galaxy, 2010 for Galaxy 2, and then 2013 for Galaxy 3. It was perfect.
Like on the next gen console, in like the next gen console, they might do like a kind of like revisiting a Galaxy theme.
That would be cool.
Say, call it Galaxy 3, or make like changes so hard into the first or the second one that people in the community or the fan base will call it Galaxy 3. I think that's like the most realistic thing, but I don't think it. I don't see it happening.
So let's bring the conversation back to something more realistic and more accurate for the streamers, because I never actually finished up the topic regarding the gregarious streamers.
Yes.
The new list still has, AJ, Hamilton, J, and Dry Guy. However, this is what, I told you to wait patiently for the interview, but here you go. Fellow gamers who are watching this right now, I'm being interviewed by the official 4th ever gregarious streamer.
Oh my god, dude, and 4's my favorite number as well!
You told me that a while ago.
Oh my god, dude!
Well, and keep this in mind. This is episode 4 of the podcast.
As well, yes.
So.
It's a triple 4 now, dude. Oh my god.
And to
I'm
wrap
honored.
up the top and to wrap up the 5, of course, we have the amazing So Legendary,
Of course,
being
of
upgraded
course.
from the original 15 spot now to the 5,
To the 5th
because he and
spot.
I did a crew battle last week with Mario Kart.
I
well,
did see
it
that,
went
yeah.
a little. Yeah, it was definitely a fun experience. They completely crushed us, and we also had some unusual things happen. It was my my second ever crew battle, and in the grand scheme of things, it was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing it again, given our schedules and just given how crew battles can be with people scheduling and such. Like it's very, very hard to arrange collaborations. Like
It is.
That's a great transition towards the next topic, which is streaming more and the benefits and depths of it. Like once you establish a community, which is the absolute hardest part to do as a streamer.
Yeah.
I will say that right now.
I do
It
feel
is
though,
the
however, right?
single hardest part.
I do feel if you have like a decent schedule and you know what the other schedules are, it is very easy to kind of work towards the schedule and just be like, okay, so this is your schedule, this is my schedule. Can you be a little more flexible? If not, I can be more flexible on those days. If you have the mindset to be like, I have this flexibility, can you also be flexible? If they can't be flexible, then you can always be like, okay, so this is my flexibility, and then we'll arrange it on mine. If they can be flexible, then you arrange it on their flexibility. And I feel like if you plan ahead, I think planning ahead is like the most important thing if you're gonna do collaborations. That's why
you reached out to me like a month ago about
Yes.
this whole podcast
I have-
in the first place, and the
I
fact
reached
that I
out
was
so many people that I literally almost had 2 months just planned. And I'm still now reaching out to new people. I'm actually going to do that in a couple of days. I'll reach out to the second wave of people that I want to have on. And the first wave that didn't really want to, was a little hesitant. I'll go over to those people as well.
You telling me I'm in the first wave?
Yes, of course, my G. Of course you are in the first wave. Why wouldn't you be?
Because there's many other streamers who have larger communities and
I don't care about how large a community is. I care about the streamer behind it.
And that's
okay?
something I've always appreciated about you too, Porro. Like Porro, you are one of those streamers that ever since I first met you, there have been many different streams that you have done over the past year that just you are an inspiration, even in even at a small capacity or to large capacity. Just like the way you engage with your community, the fact that you have like viewer nights. Like I really, if I wasn't so busy in the evenings, and if our time zones were not 9 hours apart, true story, 9 hours apart.
Very, very true.
That like I never get a chance to join your viewer nights because I'm literally working on other stuff at the time that those viewer nights are happening.
Speaking of the viewer nights,
no worries.
a little plug here. We are doing a viewer night tonight.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Probably an hour after the stream here. And for those on YouTube, go join the Discord if you want to join the viewer nights as well. We do have some pretty fun stuff over there. Link in the description, by the way.
So
I have to do that. Okay, I have to.
I know. I would be doing. If I was the one being the host, I would be 100%
the exact same thing. Yeah, 100%.
Hey, it's not a shameless plug if it's your own channel. You're promoting your own.
Yeah, exactly.
You're self-promoting on your own streams. You're self-promoting is allowed on your own stream.
I'm also thinking, right? This is actually a really good segue right now for the last topic that we had planned, but we can skip ahead just a little bit here. Is that self-promoting? I think is a very big thing if you can do it in the right ways and not just go to random streamers and be like, "Hey, I'm a streamer as well." And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people don't notice, but it's very, very hard for for example, you are not in this particular group, but if you're a full-time content creator, you put your entire time in it. Like for example, I'm thinking like I'm a full-time right now. AJ's full-time, kind of. Dry Guy tried to go full-time.
She is full-time.
Yeah, she has a part-time job as well, like in the background, but she does mostly do like full-time things. I'm thinking Yashi as well is also a full-time streamer.
Oh my goodness, Yashi I discovered thanks to you and a couple of other people who have raided him in the past.
And it's
by
like
to Yashi, You pronounce it Yasha? Because I pronounce it
Yashia.
Yash.
Yeah,
Yasha.
I think it was Yashia, but
I think, I
I'm not
think I-
100% sure on the pronunciation.
I think I emphasize the I in their
Yeah.
alias a bit more than others. Like Yashia. Every time I see them live, I think to myself, Yashia.
Because the reason why I'm bringing this up
Hilarious,
as well.
hilarious, dude. Hilarious streamer.
Yes, exactly. It's super funny. And if you guys don't know who he is, get to know him, like, genuinely. But the reason why I'm mainly bringing this up is because it's a very hot topic right now, in especially on Twitter. I've seen a lot of tweets about Twitch creators and YouTube creators earning money and it being a problem or something. And I feel like the reason why it's been brought up is because there is another hate wave towards content creators, which I'm not sure why, because I'm just gonna say the generic thing here, alright? You guys can watch everything from us for free. And
That is true.
the reason why, most of us, I'm not saying all of us, okay? Most of us, and I know you and me are prime examples of that, are literally doing this because we love it. We love to entertain people. We love to have that interaction with new people. We love to meet new people.
100%.
Finding different streamers. That's why I started this podcast as well. Just finding different streamers and just being able to like talk about them with interests that both of us share is so incredible. And if there's like a little bit of money combined with that, that's just an extra like little fun thing that you get, a little reward, so to call it. And I feel like a lot of people are, I think they're butthurt because there's a lot of big streamers that earn like thousands on top of thousands, and in their eyes, yeah, and I think in the eyes of the people that make this kind of issue, they don't do anything. They just sit there for 4 hours a day and just play video games and just talk to a couple of people, and then they get $1,000 donation. They didn't earn that. Yes, they did, because you don't know what's going on past
exactly.
that 5
Like,
hour thing.
In a weird, in a roundabout way, like when I was in a different position than I was last year, and there was a time in which I was at a real life job that, in short, was earning me way more money than I will like openly say in an interview, but it gave me the opportunity to put aside some of that, extra income and use that income to support the smaller streamers who don't have gigantic whales that drop, what you said, $1,000 per stream. Like,
exactly.
I didn't drop that kind of money at all. I don't want to give the indication.
Yeah, just
that,
like a little sub, a couple of biddies here and there.
It's like there was a time in which, like, seriously, when you're in a position where you're making a comfortable amount of money and you decide, like, you know what, like, I don't mind subscribing to this channel for $5 a month. Like $5, like the minimum wage in certain cities in the United States is $20 an hour. And if you're able to budget yourself appropriately, obviously dealing with IRL stuff like rent and like internet, etc. But you do put aside money, like a savings account, and save up enough money over time, you can use some of that allocated money to support streamers instead of like spending that money on like spending $40 on a game that you'll play for 10 minutes. It's better to, I feel that it's a better use of the money that I make through streaming or my real life job, etc. When I'm able to put aside that money, I feel like, yes, I earned this money because I want to support someone else who is working just as hard on entertaining and potentially educating others with their content. And that's why...
And I especially think it's bad because they're making it, quote-unquote, an issue. Because now Twitch has made it easier to gift subs. And I think maybe this is like a little like way that they see the issue, quote-unquote, right? Quotation marks around issue, is because now streamers, if they get 100 subs, they get X amount of money less. And then maybe there's been a couple of complaints about it, even though I do think Twitch did a very good job, because not a lot of people know this. But if you would have suffered from the little sub loss or money loss on the sub, Twitch would have paid you extra to kind of make up for the loss you would have normally had. And I don't know I actually generally don't think a lot of people knew about this existing.
I don't think I was aware of the extent of that as you have just explained.
Yeah, you can see it.
I knew the entire story about that.
You can see the little in your tab thingy. But you do get money from Twitch if you don't reach that certain threshold, and it like kind of lowers.
I mean, I never did streaming for the sole purpose of like making money on this platform.
Exactly.
That was
that's
just happened to be a consequence of committing to
an action
show and like evolving the show to the point where like I did mention affiliate anniversary when I was talking about my original username, but after I changed my name from the Gregarious Gamer to Gregarious TTV, upon first glance, I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to like really show that I'm like official. And that I will admit, Gregarious TTV may have been inspired by Ninus TTV, but hello Ninus, love you baby, love you very much. But at one point, it's like, yeah, okay, the TTV part, I want to expand this to more than just Twitch. I want to expand this to, like, other platforms, too.
Yes.
But the TTV part's gotta go. So I tried doing Gregarious, like, by itself, but nope. Okay, how about GREGG, 2 G's in the middle, and the true viewers will remember when that was the case. And I had to add an extra S, because apparently Twitch had some glitch. Twitch had a glitch, and even though that you can type in twitch.tv/GREGGARIOUS, it said that username is already taken. But when you type that in, no channel shows up at all. So I had to add an extra S for that to get approved. I'm like, yeah, still not finding it. And then when it came time that I had the ability to change my name again, I have now permanently put it at GG. Like,
basically the GG from the GG Gregarious. How we know him and how we love him.
The fact that phrase has survived for over a year, like the origin of that phrase actually came from a streamer channel that I don't even think like actually exists anymore. I've tried to find where I've tried to find the channel.
Name change maybe?
Well, I did try the name change. I even asked another streamer who also knew a mutual streamer friend of ours who actually got partnered earlier this year.
Ooh.
I asked them, like, whatever happened to Emma's delivery service? And they're like, I think they changed to, like, MEMP3, something like that. And then I looked that up, and actually was, like, it was legitimate name change. But then, a week later, I look it up again, and the account doesn't exist anymore. So
maybe name change again, then?
Probably another name change, or for all I know, maybe they figured out that maybe Twitch wasn't for them, or maybe they just who knows.
That could also be the case. There's always like the IRL factor that people just don't want to stream anymore. Yeah,
you know, sometimes people just lose the interest of streaming, and there's totally no problem with that whatsoever. You know,
I personally don't think I can stop streaming because I love it too much, and plus, I'm gonna
the community that's. I have met some of the greatest individuals I could have. Like, if I ever met these people in real life, they would automatically be lifelong friends to me.
Exactly.
Because
and I'm gonna
share
quickly
the same enthusiasm.
Do the worst possible segue here, okay?
Here we go. Segue.
Because
come on, buddy.
I cannot stop streaming because I love it too much. And let's be real, there's a lot of good moments in gaming that happen that will then not be, recorded or streamed. Speaking of good moments that were recorded or streamed, you had one of those yourself on stream. I know, it's a very good professional segue. Let me just cue the laugh track here. Professional segue. So let's go ahead and get into the first clip here that I have. You can play the video. It says like 1, and then we can watch the first clip here together.
All right, hang on a sec. I forgot where I put it on my computer. Just bear with me here.
Alright. Yeah, because this play that you've done is very, very nice. And honestly, I'm happy you got it recorded, because that is something that people will probably not believe.
Alright, I got the video ready to go. I see one.
Yes, alright, let's go. Let's check out the first clip here.
I thought you did these near the end.
I really could have used red shells right there. Oh! Oh!
Look at that beautiful, beautiful snipe, dude.
That was like, okay. So I will admit, when I first streamed Mario Kart in the first place on my channel, there was a lot of moments like that where when people started sniping me, like that was when I learned the term stream sniping, like using watching someone on stream and then like figuring out, okay, where are they exactly? I'm gonna try and send them a green shell or whatever, and when it actually works, like, yes, actually got them, like you stream sniped them. And the streamer, like, obviously, it's for content either way, whether it's good or bad. Like,
yeah, you make the best out of it. You make the best out of it.
Yeah, I try my very best to make the best out of it. But also, the context of that clip was, like, Starry Galaxy is a very, very talented Mario Kart and Smash fighter in my community. And they are the only one in my community that has not only persistently shown up in my streams, and not only that, but have participated in the multiplayer games that we usually have set up. They remind me of myself like 10 years ago. I was the best kid in my school that was good at Mario Kart and formidably well in Smash. And there are times in which like Galaxy would be far enough ahead that it doesn't matter like what, like if you have a red shell or a green shell snipe opportunity, like Galaxy is the epitome of someone who is excellently skilled, but they also have a lot of RNG in their favor.
Sounds a little like me.
Yeah, it's extremely rare to see Galaxy have a coin or a not so useful defense item in their arsenal. And they've even said to me after streams, like, oh, by the way, I apparently had like 4 red shells in first place. Like, I had a red shell and then I had triple red shell. And I'm like, dude, how the is that possible? I mean, I've had bombs in first place. I've had the same stuff happen to me, but it seems that it happens like, way more often for certain racers than...
It's especially, though, because it's not you, and then you're probably second, and you're like, I never get this kind of luck. What is this bullshit? I never get this fucking luck, dude.
It's like, it even got to a point where, like, it's like, I don't mind losing to the same person over and over. I really don't. It's just a game. But there are times
it frustrates
in which
you
like,
a little bit, though.
It does frustrate me. It's like, am I ever gonna get first place ever again if I keep on racing with this person?
Because
like,
we have also, funnily enough, our second clip here is of you being frustrated a little bit after having a very, very good moment on stream, but that moment did not.
The second clip's gonna be.
Did not last long. So let's go ahead and let's press play here once again.
Help me, audience.
Final star, baby! Let's end this on a good note.
Oh, you me! I can't even watch this! You have no idea how much I was raging inside.
And his face afterwards, I fucking love your face afterwards as well. You just look at wait, let me quickly pull up the face here. You just look at the camera just like, I cannot believe what has just happened.
Like,
oh man, I love it so much.
I don't. Oh my goodness, dude! It's just like that's happened to me before. Like that's actually happened to me before off stream when I was just messing around in the game.
Listen,
and it was the final star too. I wasn't even timing myself. I don't like. There was no timer on that stream, so that wasn't a speed run attempt.
Yeah, I am currently on my channel 100%ing this game, and I have felt that moment, legitimately. The last stream that I did, I was doing Bowser 1, and I could not, for the life of me, survive the red coins. I died so often, and I got so pissed off,
I'll be frank,
so
dude,
frustrated.
As someone who has played the original Mario 64 for over 20 years, I'm telling you, there is something about the red coin placements in Bowser and the Bowser 1 that there are some people out there who flat out just like, nope, I'm not going to deal with the red coins in Bowser 1.
Yeah, there's speedrunners that legitimately say that. Like,
I will lose. Who say, I will not do the red coin in Bowser 1.
They will legitimately lose seconds just to not do that level and just do another level that's like a little seconds longer and then just be like, I'll somehow make up in my other runs.
You have to do them for 120 stars. So.
Yeah, I have to. Wait, there's 120. I thought there was only 100.
Sorry to burst your bubble, buddy, but there's 120.
I hate you now. I loved you as a friend. I loved you as a streamer. I hate you now.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm kidding.
buddy, just to give you an idea, because I know you have 3D All-Stars on your Switch somewhere, whether you don't play it as often or not.
That's exactly what I'm using it on. So.
Yeah, buddy. Let's just say there are 120 shines in Super Mario Sunshine, and you have to get 24 of them by collecting 240 blue coins. Don't ask me how I know that. I studied.
You know so much of Mario. I'm not even surprised. But Sunshine, I've actually never completed. So if I'm 100%
honestly,
that
a lot of people are that same way. In fact, the way I played I played the original Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. I used to play that actually, and you'll just happen to know, like, of course I will already have this like ready to go in case it's ever brought up in conversation, but this right here is a version of the screen that I had connected my GameCube to. This is basically what made the GameCube the first Switch by plugging this into the GameCube and having that be the power adapter. I was able to play Super Mario Sunshine on a small screen like this, and once I got to the final when I got to Bowser, I said, wait a minute, how come I only need like 54 shines to get here? Like, there's gotta be more to this game. And then I find out all those blue coins I had collected, there's 240 of them, and I was at like maybe 18.
Yeah, it's basically the red coin equivalent.
Yeah. I would even say purple coin equivalent. There's 1,500 purple coins in Galaxy.
Yes,
but
also.
200, but you at least know where they are, and it's like obvious where the purple coins are. In Mario Sunshine, Nintendo gives you nothing to guide you on where the blue coins are. It's literally pure exploration.
Guess I'm not 100%ing Sunshine then.
Yeah, probably not.
I think
100% Mario Sunshine is not for the faint of heart, and it's not for the non-dedicated.
I'm thinking a game to maybe 100% after 64 then is a game of the next clip here, or not necessarily the game, but especially the character from the next clip here. So let's go ahead and roll the clip number 3 here, which is
number 3.
One of my favorite moments on stream that I've seen as well.
Yes, a space apple here. You want to see it? Here's the space apple. In fact,
is
how was that a clip?
Gregorina biting into the space apple.
How is that even a clip?
Because come on, it's seductive as fuck. Let's be real here. Look at, hold on. Let's bring the clip back real quick. Oh, I still had it on the screen. It's
preferably not, buddy.
I'm just gonna like do this like a little bit like frame per frame here.
Telling you, there's a reason Rosalina has not shown up on stream lately.
I miss Rosalina on stream, man. I miss Rosalina on stream, to be honest.
Hey, she had a chance to come back this month. You know, she had a chance.
Guys, we need to make it happen. We need to make it possible. Rosalina needs to come back for the stream, guys. All right, it needs to come back.
Well, I mean, like I had like for my first ever September that happened last month in September. Shocker. I had certain goals, and I wasn't expecting like to reach every single one of them. The fact that I reached the first 2 was pretty nice, and then once it reached like past 50 subscribers, it was like, okay, I mean, if we reach 100 subscribers, which we've done exactly one time ever in our entire channel, I was gonna bring Rosalina back, and I was legitimately gonna do a full 8-hour stream once again as Rosalina. But you know, IRL comes first, and I guess I just didn't have as many opportunities to stream and opportunities for people to subscribe to the channel.
Listen,
but in short,
Greg, like, all I can say right now is that there's a very interesting offer for you in chat right now.
What?
Just open up the chat. You said you were lurking. Just look in the chat real quick. There's a very, very interesting offer for you right now.
Oh my god.
Right off the bat.
Wait, Shadow Diver. Okay, Shadow Diver, I want to make something clear. I am not a teenager. I am a full-blown adult.
No,
I'm a fucking millennial all the way.
He's talking about someone else right now. It's mainly Genta's comment here that he's gonna gift you 50 subs if you're gonna bring back Gregolina. Oh, sorry, Rosalina.
Okay, for the record, like, it's a very delicate costume, and it's you know, a little bit of a shocker reveal, but I was really hoping that the next time that Rosalina would appear on screen, it would be someone other than myself, so that it would be like 2-player Galaxy, because you can indeed play Super Mario Galaxy with 2 people. And not to get a little personal here, but you know, if there was a special someone in my life that happened to be in that costume right beside me, like I would wear my usual get up and.
I don't think if that was the case, Greg, I don't think you'd be able to stream that on Twitch, my guy. I think that's gonna have to be streamed on a different kind of site.
You want the cosplay to happen? Just say it, buddy. Just say it, buddy. It wouldn't be nearly as funny. I get that.
Yes, it has to be Gregolina. I'm making it a thing right now. Gregolina needs to come back.
I did the cross-dressing back in March, and I will admit it was not the first time I had done that. It was the first time I did that on stream, but it's not the first time that I've done that. I digress. It's
fair enough.
It was definitely a fun cosplay to try out, but I also enjoy the other cosplays that are available to see on my channel, by the way. Shameless plug.
Exactly.
I've done Mario before. You know, Mario is a onesie that I wore on Halloween 2017, right after Super Mario Odyssey dropped, which was fire. I went to this nightclub that was, you know, doing Halloween night, and when I showed up in my Mario onesie, I was probably the brightest and like, you know, the brightest colors, you know, Mario, you know, red and blue and like the hat and all. I stood out in a crowd, and I was both proud of it, but also like, oh shit, everyone's gonna be looking at me because like, it's me, it's you, Mario. And I liked how many people...
I mean, I assume there's a lot of people that are gonna like come into like a Mario suit or
100%,
suit or something,
and like low key, part of me was like
you felt
I
at
don't
home,
really...
Be honest.
It felt right, especially when Mario was coming out with a brand new game, and it was literally on the topic of everyone, because it literally came out the weekend right before Halloween in 2017, so it just fit perfectly. And my girlfriend at the time happened to also be wearing a Rosalina dress. It's like, hey, Mario and Rosalina together. Like, that was actually pretty cool.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense indeed. Too bad though that Luigi wasn't there. Luigi missed out on it,
I will admit, I was, you know, when I was costume bar hopping with a few friends, we were surprised that at no time during the bar hopping in the city that I went to school that there wasn't any Luigi to do like a quick little, like, hey, like the bros unite.
I actually know why.
There was not a single person that was dressed up as even a female or you know, whatever, or gender fluid person. Nobody dressed up as Luigi.
I actually know why there wasn't a Luigi in that specific area that you were talking about, and it all comes down to the 4th clip here that we are watching together.
Okay.
That's where Luigi was hiding at the time itself. He was streaming this moment right here.
Yes! GG from the GG fellow gamers.
Somebody actually clipped that.
Okay.
Again, what did you say earlier about like when you said something before we even began this interview this morning or this evening that like it's best to use reverse psychology on you viewers. Then we say don't clip that. People will be like, gotta clip it, gotta clip it, gotta clip it. But when the streamer says like, hey, somebody clip that, because I tend to notice a bunch of my clips. Like,
you also have some clips of that then as well. And the game that you were playing was not a Mario game, it was Cuphead.
Yes. In short, this game I have this special little fucker guy to thank for my channel getting you know, just hang on a sec.
Oh.
Tasty, tasty, tasty stuff. And for the record, I've had that forever. But yeah, Cuphead. Yes, I did just suck the life out of Cuphead.
I thought you were blowing on him to make him give more volume, and all of a sudden you're like, tasty motherfucker, and I was like, wait a minute.
Why?
Did you just suck on wait,
it's a family-friendly show, buddy!
No, nothing's family-friendly here on this channel.
That's family-friendly, man, come on!
I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I'm obviously sucking Cuphead's straw, and not in a suggestive way, okay?
Yeah, just, you were doing to Cuphead what I always do to dairy, basically, yeah.
But oh my god, yeah, seriously, it's
like
honestly, the whole Cuphead thing, before I began streaming, this was last year, like 2020, give or take. There was a channel that, like, I don't really want to give them any plug because they don't stream anymore and they don't upload videos on YouTube, but there was this channel that had uploaded videos of how to S-rank this particular villain.
Yes.
And when the DLC was announced for Cuphead, which, still waiting on that delicious last course, but,
Oh, damn, you still have to wait for that? I thought the game was,
still
like,
waiting.
final already, damn.
The delicious last course, the DLC, like they keep on saying, you know, it's gonna be delayed to 2021. It's like, okay, what about 20? I'm expecting it to come out in 2023 at this point.
I'm feeling some Silk Song vibes over here. That's what I'm feeling.
Yep. And so basically, when I first began streaming, the very first game I ever actually practiced stream, which if I had the opportunity to share this during the podcast would have been cool, but there wasn't enough time to prepare for it. But before I began streaming, I was recording myself, like, in a stream, like, overlay setup,
Yes.
and just practicing, like, if I were to actually do this, how I would go about, like, you know, commentating and doing it all. And it was a hockey game, which you can check out my Streamiversary
Which you
video
have
from
clips of even, and I nearly got a clip in there from the hockey game. Yes.
Oh,
You
there are
did?
definitely some. There are definitely some clippable moments in there. Is that the fifth and final one? Is this a
So
great?
moving
segue?
on to the final clip here that I have, which
Alright.
I actually had a segue in because you were sucking on the little Cuphead, but you don't suck on just Cuphead. You also like to lick some things here. Let's go ahead and,
You know, it's
Do we do one more round
funny you
just looking
say
at
that
the
Hold on,
because
hold on.
Do we whip out? Do we lick a cartridge?
So first of all, what were you thinking?
Instant regret.
Second of all, no, quick, okay, almost showed the bonus clip. Second of all, why? Why did you lick
that-
a cartridge?
why?
Yes, it's just why.
Well,
I've done a lot of questionable things on my stream before, and when I say a lot of questionable things, I mean a lot of questionable things. But I have never licked a game cartridge before.
okay. The reason behind I have no legitimate reason behind why I did that aside from, you know what? If there is any funny thing that's ever going to come from your channel, because at the time I was still growing in, like, my channel was still growing a little bit, my community was being formed, like, in its formality, and at one
Yes.
point I was thinking to myself, like, you know what, like, at this amount of money, like, see, look, I'll look at cartridge, and it was literally just, it was just spur of the moment. There was no plan whatsoever, and low-key, I had never actually licked a cartridge myself, and that particular cartridge, I had never, like, I had bought purely for collection purposes. I was never actually planning on playing that game, so it was...
Oh,
the
okay,
one-
I see.
I think it was a Super Bomberman R cartridge that I eventually, like, you know, it's been in my collection, but I've never actually inserted the game. And if there was ever any, like, I had a disposable game, like, okay, you know what? And that reaction on, like, whenever we see the clip, that reaction was not exaggerated. Like, it did taste that bad.
Of course,
but
it's a game cartridge.
Yeah,
It's not meant to be leaked.
like, it's like people keep on saying, like, oh, you don't want to eat this, like, it's gonna be disgusting, like, it's gonna taste awful. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, people
It's-
say that as if they have experimented it themselves, and I just need to, like, I need to know, like,
You just
little
you
question
couldn't
and-
you couldn't believe that it tasted bad. You were just like,
It's like, okay, here's my here's my rebuttal question for anyone who ever asks, why'd you do that? My response is, okay, say you're going for a walk in the park, you know, you're doing your 5K, keep doing that, by the way, Poro. Fucking love that you are, you know, taking care of yourself physically.
of course.
when you're
of
at a
course.
bench,
I also
when you're at a
encourage
bench-
everyone to
when
do
you're
it,
at
by
a
the way.
bench or when you're in a public area and you see wet paint, how many of you watching, low-key in your mind, subconsciously, want to touch that paint to make sure it's actually...
I don't. I see
Well,
wet paint and I'll be like,
Well,
yeah.
speak for yourself, Boro. I know many people who will still touch the paint to be sure. And I'm not even going to bring up the comparison that I've used in real life that gets a little non-secular. But this galaxy is secular. Not going to get into that. So,
Oh my
Hey, it's 11:11 my time zone. Everyone, make a wish. Hey, we got some shooting stars right here. So the wish worked. I wish all of you a pleasant and super Saturday.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that. Now the wish is not. If you're making a wish, you have to stay quiet. You have to think about the wish. If you say the wish, it will not actually come out. So
okay.
Thank you, Greg. You officially ruined my day. No, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Something else that I do quickly wanna show
you
up
in the
here.
chat, Hamilton J. Welcome on in, buddy. It's great to see Hamilton J, the one and only Red Yosh, in your podcast. Welcome on in.
There we go. Go check him out as well. By the way, Jay's an absolute fantastic human.
If any of you have ever wondered, like, you know, what that transitional effect is, that is actually my voice. It's not actually trademarked in any way, but good luck trying to rip that out of you. I mean, anyone can say it.
Yeah, true. But it's unique. It's unique to your channel because it's literally you. And I don't think it can be replicated. I don't know.
That's the thing too, is because like as I'm approaching officially the second season of Gregarious starting on Monday for my 30th anniversary when I played Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. There is a part of me that has always wondered, like, what if you change the transition and eliminate that sound entirely and have the sound instead be something that people, like, you know, can achieve with a sound alert or whatever, you know, like, you know, a droid noise or whatever. Like, I guess I'm already kind of brainstorming what the next, you know, chapter of my channel will be, but yeah, well, let's see this clip here. Did we already show the 5th clip?
Well, it's actually not really a clip that I want to show. It's more something we can listen to. So I'm just gonna play it right now.
What?
I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let
Can you not hear it?
I'm here. I can hear it.
So yeah. I just rickroll all of my viewers with your voice, so thank you so much for that free rickroll to the viewers.
Oh wait, you showed the bonus one, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
The bonus one.
I did show the bonus one, yes. And I just rickrolled all of the viewers here with your voice, so thank you so much.
Call that the Grick-groll.
The Grick-groll, alright. Chat, we're gonna call it the Grick-groll from now on.
The Grick-groll. I don't know.
Oh my god.
That was pretty good stuff. But yeah, I
found that clip and I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. I have to like put that in here, but I don't want it to be like one of the 5 clips that I always show. So that's why there was the first ever bonus clip. I just had to do it. I couldn't resist. I just had to do it.
Well, Hamilton J, you know, I'm not one to, you know, he wants an encore. I'll acknowledge this. Hamilton J was on a similar show.
Hold on, Greg. One moment here. He wants an encore, but how about instead of giving him an encore, why don't you just give him a live performance? A little bit of an extra here on the show. The Grick-groll live performance. We're not getting it. It doesn't actually pick it up.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. And that's all you're getting.
Let's go. I don't have a crowd cheering, sadly enough, but
don't worry about it, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Let's go ahead. Let's cheer you on here a little bit with the questions that we have for you for today.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
So if you guys haven't asked a question yet, it costs 100 channel points, which will, by the way, be refunded at the end of the stream.
Dude, there was actually a couple of things that we never got a chance to talk about.
Yes,
that I want to. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Mr. Psy1. I hope you're real.
Sil,
feel free to chat.
Thank you for the follow on Greg Sil. It's actually Sil. I did the same
Really appreciate
thing.
that.
It's yeah.
But yeah, some of these other categories that we didn't get a chance to see: Sora and Smash, the War of Consoles, and the last subject we did kind of cover a little bit.
Like I told you, there's also always the possibility that we skip over some things, that we bring in some new things.
True. I mean, the only thing I have to say about Sora and Smash is congratulations to all the Sora fans that were vocal about on social media for the last several years. You definitely have earned Sora being in Smash. I feel that of the 4 popular character choices that people were wanting, Waluigi, Crash Bandicoot, Master Chief from Halo, and Sora, with other options being like Rayman or Doomguy. Doomguy got cup-headed, dude!
Sorry, I was just telling you off about Sora and just praising Waluigi a little bit while you were talking. Yeah.
I hope that Waluigi does in fact make it into the next Smash. I think he will be a lock-in for the next Smash, and the next Smash will not have a crossover this big ever.
Yeah, no Daisy, screw Daisy. We need Waluigi. I need my I need my boy. I need
black. Okay, remove all the blahs. Okay, like I don't mind there being a Marth. I don't mind there being a Corrin.
No.
I don't mind there being a Robin. They are unique enough. But all the other characters...
Ike needs to stay. Ike needs to stay.
I'll even keep Ike it.
Chrom needs to stay.
Robin.
Roy needs to stay. Lucina can take her shit and leave.
Roy.
Roy
Roy robbed me of a Nintendo Wii in 2008.
Nah.
You should know this story by now.
He's my G. He's my boy.
Yeah, I agree, Jay. Keep the plants. I agree. Keep the plants. Keep the plants.
The plant
was a cool idea.
The first question that we have here, I'm gonna skip because it has nothing to do with you. The second question is also skippable because it's not an important question at all. Then I have a question from Lemon Girl.
Okay.
Why does he have half a head? I think we know the answer to that already.
Because I have lost half my head streaming for a long time, and I have become engrossed in this galaxy. This entire galaxy is now my brain.
You're just fucking galaxy brain over here, dude. Oh my god.
Yep. I have expanded my knowledge, but I'm still learning every day. I still get some things wrong, but I try my very best to use this galactic cranium to, entertain and graduate.
We have another question here from our very own Genta. Since you're into movies and love making them, which directors or styles of films are your biggest inspiration for that?
That is the best possible question I could ever receive, and that person deserves lifetime brownie points, and be sure to check out my channel after the fact. So, real talk, my favorite films of all time are the original Star Wars, like we now call it Episode 4, A New Hope, but that is the classic hero's journey, written and directed by George Lucas, who is, technically speaking, a San Francisco Bay Area filmmaker who eventually went down to Los Angeles to 20th Century Fox and many other studios to get Star Wars made. And, 40-some-odd years later, we now have, we have all the Star Wars, and we have George Lucas to thank. I was waiting for someone to bring it up. While this is not my personal favorite movie of his, this right here sums up a lot of me. Like E.T., the fact that it's a boy and an alien going through space, the story that touched the world. This film, along with a few other Spielberg movies, are what got me into filmmaking permanently. And we all know about E.T. on the Atari 2600. I always chuckled at the fact that one of the most popular movie in the early 80s, the most popular and most successful movie of all time, resulted in the worst video game ever created. So, and the third and final one that I'll bring up as well is, I'm not sure if Christopher Nolan rings any bells for that question. I
know kind of who he is a little, yeah, maybe.
You think The Dark Knight, you think the war movie Dunkirk, you think...
I think Hollywood, but but not much more.
Fair enough. He's also done Memento, which is a movie about brain loss.
I think I've heard of the movie, but
yeah,
then again, yeah, I'm not big on movies. I literally just don't know. Basically, fuck all of movies.
Dude, honestly, I have noticed that the gaming community and the film buff community
it could be completely.
It rarely
Yes.
intersects, which
And
is a little shocking right now.
We actually have another film question.
Yes.
Do you edit the films you make, or do you get someone to edit them for you?
So when I was first starting out in grade school, like the first film I remember shooting and even stitching together, I was roughly 8 or 9 years old, and then I went to film camp to learn like the actual process of making films as young as 10 years old. And over time, as I went into college for film and started collaborating with other people, I noticed that when it comes to bigger productions, there are people that are going to be taking care of the camera, taking care of the sound. You, as the director or producer or even actor, you have one job, focus on that, trust other people to do their jobs. And editing has its own department, and it got to a point where I even had one of my best friends edit one of my big films. And, of course, Big Net, no problem with a great answer. Great question gets a great answer, that's all. And I'm trying to provide a great answer to this one, and it's been a mix. So the latest film, the longer films that I have directed or have appeared in, they are edited by somebody else, by an outside party that approaches it as like a commission, as a project that they are assigned to edit. And I personally enjoy editing myself. I just wish that I had the free time to edit together my clips like Porro does, but when you have to prioritize certain things in life, the stuff
true.
That
The real life
roof over your head and keeps you fed. It's like
exactly.
Maybe one day with enough patience, enough support, maybe I could do this full time. But I still don't see that happening for at least another year.
Listen,
sometimes
it takes a little bit of time, so
it does, and I love the fact that I have had, if I may speak a little freely here, I am extremely thankful that my channel grew at the pace and the consistency that it did.
Yes, same here.
I have met some streamers in the community, in other communities, that they blew up, and they either changed the way that they had approached streaming, or they started streaming a whole bunch, and then they blew up, got partner, and then they just stopped streaming altogether. And when they came back, it felt like it was much of the same. So some people evolved when they didn't. Some people changed their approach as a result of fast growth, while others changed for the worse. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's logical. If you blow up, it's like blowing up is never really something good for your own sake, because you have to learn how to deal with that, and sometimes it's very hard to adapt to that. Other people can easily adapt to it, and others are like, what do I do with this now? And change, and then the change isn't good, so they kind of forget where they came from.
I will admit, during my first year of streaming, the goal I had at the beginning of 2021 was I want to reach 1,000 followers, and I was like, in January, when I had 360, getting closer to 400, I thought, okay, I think it's doable to get 1,000 by the end of December, but just keep my own schedule, stream the games I enjoy streaming, and have the audience and have the viewership and the community progressively come. I've had a streamer named Few literally say it's a slow grind. It may be a slow grind, but it will eventually come. You build it, they will come. From Field of Dreams by Kevin Costner. But in short, to wrap it all up, just the fact that I reached 1,000 followers a few weeks ago during the weekend of 9/11, it was absolutely insane to me. I was not expecting to reach 1,000 at that time, or heck, reach 1,000 ever. Because there are some streamers out there who have done way more in their channels, have done a lot of extra graphical effects, and have brought on a great show, but they have 500, 600 followers, and they have, at least a dozen, maybe even 20 plus people watching them. and sometimes, like, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it's all numbers. Like, it doesn't matter if a channel has 200 or 2,000 or over 10,000 followers. If the community enjoys the show or the entertainment that that streamer provides, that's the big goal there.
Exactly.
My
yeah,
goal,
yeah, yeah.
like,
Because
I'm
you
sure
have to
your
set
goal
goals
is
as well.
big.
Because
Yeah,
I currently have not really set number goals because I don't really care about the numbers as much anymore. But I've just set goals for myself in terms of like the marathon. That's a big goal for me. Just trying to be able to do a marathon by the end of next year. Another goal is the full-time streaming thing, and especially the big goal about that is the YouTube scene. It's to consistently provide the videos, 3 videos a week consistently, finding a way to upload things, to improve my own quality, to be better as a streamer, and then the growth in terms of numbers. I mean, it'll come. I can wait with that. It'll come. No worries.
You know, I'm telling you, as someone who started their current YouTube channel in 2012 with a completely different name, that there's some old videos that have my old, like,
I deleted all of my old videos. I was like,
yeah,
fuck
I'm sorry to think I might do that too, but YouTube's the only place where I can even find them. I literally can't find them on my external drive.
You can just privatize them.
Like, there are some videos out there that are lost that I wish I could, you know, resurface for the sake of resurfacing. But in short, like, I will always be making films. I will always be creating content, even if it's not on Twitch or on YouTube or wherever. And like, I guess if there's one big takeaway from the past year or so is, like, honestly, had it not been for AJ, like, directly talking with me through DMs on Discord and just, like, and talking with Yamilton and a few other streamers that got to know me, like, before I began streaming regularly, had it not been for them saying, GGregarious, you have a unique voice, you are clearly passionate about the things that you enjoy talking about. Like, people will be attracted to that. People will join you in your enthusiasm, and people will love to share your enthusiasm with things. And I'm like, I'm not that sure. I was never really when I was in school, like,
but
I was
school is different.
I was that very vocal kid that I was nicknamed Toxie at one point when I was doing hot.
I feel like school is different though. Because with school, you're in a classroom with X amount of people, and they all have their personalities. On Twitch, it's like, oh, this streamer, let me just be here for a bit. Nah, never mind.
That's
next streamer. Ooh,
that's
okay, I love this.
Noticed.
So,
you know, it's like some people will come through and check your channel out for like 15 seconds, and be like, yeah, I'm not sure if, like, I don't like their voice, I don't like how they look on camera.
You only mostly get the people that really like you in, and then it's way easier to be yourself and to communicate with them rather than just having.
I mean, like, knocking on Spacewood right now, I wanted to quickly bring up that, like, I have I consider myself a significantly vocal, relatively vocal ally to the LGBTQ plus community. I myself am not. I'm not LGBTQ. I do like the other genders and orientations. That being said, I think that one big thing that has to be improved with Twitch is the safety and the commitment to safety regarding certain communities that have been victimized via hate raids. I myself, even though I do have, like, I'm an ally as one of my tags for my stream sometimes, I don't have a rainbow planet or anything like that. I don't have any, like, visual marks that, like, hey, like, I'm LGBTQ friendly. Like, that should be implied by my name, Gregarious, sociable, fond of company. Like, I welcome anyone into my communities, unless you are flat, like, if you're not, it costs nothing to be nice, but it costs your reputation and everything else if you are, you know, racist.
I think it's just implied, like, in general nowadays, that you just have to be accepting of everyone. I mean, it's just a person when it comes down to it at the end of the day.
Then again, I do live in a part in the real world that is extremely open and embracing of the of that community. Yeah, and
I would say the place where I live is a little. It's divided. Let's just say that it's more divided.
It's not much. Like because
I'm open about this as well. I come from a very racist family. I think I'm one of the only people in my family that's not a racist. And when they bring it up, I legitimately get annoyed and sometimes yell at my family because they bring it up. But that's a topic that I don't want to get into. It's more of a personal thing.
Yeah, I agree. But anyways,
but I do have another question here that is that I will take very personal if you do not answer this correctly. All right? I just want you to know that I will take it very personal if you do not answer this correctly, okay? Is it soccer or football?
Short answer, it's football. F-U-T-B-O-L, and with the accents that the Spanish language describes football. If we're talking about the sport, that you have a ball that you kick with your foot.
Yes.
Yes, in the United States, we do call that soccer. However, I am one who watches American sports. You know, I watch baseball.
I know.
I watch American football with, you know, the hand egg and all that, and I do watch basketball and even ice hockey as well. When I say football, people around me will think American football, where, you know, they have the quarterback and the wide receivers, etc. But when I say football, I have traveled, like, you're talking to someone who has literally, yes, I'm in space right now, but I'm not BSing you. I have traveled to all 7 continents: Antarctica, Australia, North and South America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. I've been to all of them. So when I say football, I'm meaning football. It is football.
That was the only correct answer here. Congratulations on answering that correctly.
I know you're from Belgium, so it's like obviously I get an answer.
I genuinely don't care about football, though. I genuinely don't care. I wouldn't have not taken it personal. I would have not taken it personal. I genuinely don't give a fuck.
I mean, the sports teams in my area, like my area, has an abundance of professional sports teams that represent all the different.
America is huge when it comes to like sports and localizations. It really is. It's insane.
Unfortunately, America prioritizes sports entertainment, sports more than mathematical and scientific advancements. Like NASA does not get the budget that the NFL and the other ones do. We need to be celebrating science and math sports. But
I have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the final question from chat.
Okay.
To round up the entire podcast here, and it is a rather specific question.
Okay.
What's your opinion on the Switch OLED? Because it seems to have some flaws. There's a question by Catwire.
Catwire, thank you very much for asking, and I will keep this short. I take it from me, who literally camped outside of a GameStop in 2017 to pick up the Switch day 1, March 3rd. If my Switch had suffered any major glitches or like got bricked or whatever, and I've never modded it, I would have had a different reaction towards the Switch OLED. But I take care of my Switch, and even with the version 2 that had a better battery coming out, and patiently waiting for the Switch Pro or the Super Nintendo Switch to be announced, I cannot deny that I was actually very disappointed by the announcement that the Switch OLED was not going to have a 1080p tablet display, but instead was going to just have 7 inches, just a little bit of a larger screen. And yes, I 100% agreed. I have seen the images on social media that compare the original to the new one, and yes, the new one does have brighter lumens because that's the OLED display. It's going to have a brighter image, and some games are going to shine a lot brighter. Looking at you, Super Mario Sunshine and Galaxy and Metroid Dread. But real talk, I think Nintendo made a significant mistake. And I was watching this YouTube channel, no plug here, but there was this YouTube channel that I watched streams to outside of Twitch, and he was more or less he was playing devil's advocate for Nintendo and said that it was most likely that Nintendo was planning to do a Switch Pro that would have been 4K ready, because all those rumors about the 4K dev kits for the Switch, I think those rumors were actually real. That's why Nintendo was so quick to shut them down. I think they were actually real. That they were, in fact, like real dev kits for 4K.
It could have been.
Because there is in fact a chip shortage going on in China and
Yes.
the other countries that actually manufacture the technological
the chips and
equipment
everything
that-
from it, yeah.
like the chips and everything, because there is a chip shortage. I think that was the primary reason why Nintendo ultimately could not deliver a Switch Pro.
It honestly
and
could have been.
They had to resort to like.
No, I don't
they
think
need-
resort to. I think they then just probably said, okay, we can't do this, so let's switch it up so we still have something big, so we'll make it OLED instead. I think that's what they wanted to do, and then a bigger screen.
And they added in the bigger screen, and I will admit that there are two specific things that actually did catch my attention in a positive way. Though one of them was like, oh great, like why the hell didn't you just have this day one?
Yes.
And that was I didn't say this
Also-
on stream during my reaction, but after it I was like, now that I think about it, why the hell wasn't that the final
Yeah.
design for day
And-
one? We're all talking about the wide adjustable stand. That should have been on the Switch day one.
Yes, and to
I don't
quickly go
know.
into Catwire's comment here, the OLED's burning into the screen is actually not a thing anymore. It used to be a thing, but OLED technology has evolved away from that already. So there's still the... I know this because I used to sell TVs, and I sold a shit ton of OLED TVs. If they have the correct technology, that should not be a possible thing anymore. So you should not have to worry about that. And plus, it's only if the screen stays the exact same the entire time, which with a game is not possible. And the battery of the Switch will comprehend that. Plus, if you leave it in the dock, the screen is always off. So that's not something you should worry about.
That's interesting. Yeah, just in the grand scheme of things, I feel that the upgrade from the internal storage from 32 to 64 was very lazy by Nintendo. They should have had it be 128 or larger minimum, especially with the asking price of 350 USD. I'm not sure what it is in your country.
Probably
the
like
currency.
because they sell a little bit more expensive here. Probably like 320 euros is what the 330 is what the original Switch is. So it's probably going to be around that.
So yeah, for the United States, it was an extra $50, and that was the big turning off point for me. It's like, honestly, when it doesn't even have when the dock itself, so it was the wide adjustable stand, and it was the new dock that had Ethernet plugged in, like built in immediately.
The Ethernet is so big as well for like
That was
especially
huge.
Smash.
That is huge, but it just serves as a reminder that that's just Nintendo catching up with 2007. And
Yeah, it is.
slightly unrelated,
They're very,
the
very
fact-
late with it, but
The fact they had Bluetooth audio as an option the whole damn time, and it took a simple system software update to like. Nintendo.
no, it's so fucking amazing. Nintendo is a special
Nintendo.
company, but we love them. We love them.
Nintendo, why? Why did it take you 4.5 years to turn something on
Listen.
inside your console that was apparently there from day one?
Listen,
Makes no sense.
listen. All I can say, Xbox, PlayStation, they need the specs for the sales. Nintendo, they don't need fuck all for the sales. they can implement it and just be like, hey, listen, if the sales are well, by the way, we have this feature already, but we won't tell you about it. So just wait a couple of years, and if the sales are good, we'll enable it. It's fine.
I wish we had more time to talk about that because, like, I'll just
Yeah, 'cause
short.
we're,
if anyone was ever wondering but didn't want to like ask me, like, I know you're a Nintendo guy, but what are your thoughts on PlayStation, Xbox? Here's a free answer for you. I have an Xbox One X, which is how I'm able to broadcast my games because it has an
Yes.
Xbox. It has the HDMI pass-through feature, which was criminally ignored by Microsoft, that they didn't include it in the Series S or the Series X. And I don't play enough PlayStation exclusive games to justify dropping $500, let alone scalper prices on a PS5, when all the games that are coming to PS5 can be played on Xbox or on PC. True story. And in short, I don't think I will ever see myself purchasing either one unless
Yeah,
like,
same.
somebody gifts me one. But I don't want anyone to gift me a console. I don't.
will keep it on
Like-
Switch
like-
and PC for
Yeah,
probably the rest
like-
of time.
like,
Unless I get it for
seriously,
free, but then I still
Nintendo
probably would just sell it.
The only thing I'll ever drop more than, you know, if Nintendo announces a 4K ready Switch, or like the next console is 4K ready, and
I'll probably see if I can buy that.
Like if they have a 1080p tablet and they have a certain amount of things that are, you know, additional things I want for the Switch or the next Switch, whatever, I will happily drop $400 on that. But I'm not going to drop $500 on
a PS5.
A PlayStation 5 or
I am entering some giveaways with PS5s, and if I do win that, then I will probably give it away myself. So I'm gonna end the podcast on that note. So if you can hear this, then congratulations. You now know that I might be giving away a PS5 if I ever win one. If I ever win one, I really want to make that sure to you. I'm not gonna buy one and give it away. I don't have the money for that. That's literally more than my monthly rent. So. No, wait, it's less. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. But
you're not stupid, buddy.
Guys,
you took time to organize all this together.
Everybody there on YouTube, thank you so much for watching us. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the YouTube over here, and I will see you guys all next week, where we have another amazing guest on.
From the GG.
So GG, you know what? We're ending it with that. GG's from the GG, indeed. And we'll see you all next week. Peace out.
Peace out and game on.